So I get up in the morning and I start my gratitude, and it can be short, like I said, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. What am I grateful for when I wake up in the morning? So I go to gratitude. I then do some spiritual reading or audio. I then get to my two-way conscious contact. And after the two-way conscious contact, I usually take a look at my character asset inventory sheet. When I go to the character asset inventory sheet, of course, you can fill it out the night before or in the morning for the day before, but you want to do that day by day. So you start to see the trends in there and where the fixing needs to take place. That way we're not just, operating on automatic pilot and hoping things go, that we have a plan for the day. Here's what someone told me early on. When we're in total warrior state and we don't take the time to figure out what's our behavior and what's our plan for the day, we have a tendency to wake up and just go on out and inflict ourselves on the world. We don't want to go out and inflict ourselves on the world. We want to have a plan for humility and tolerance and patience, a plan for learning, a plan for having blocks removed and an open mind so we're getting good conscious contact with the God of our understanding. Now, I'll usually look at my inventory sheet and maybe I'm stacking up, I need to work on humility, or maybe I need to work on letting go of resentment. Whatever it is, I'll pick one. Usually I pick two or three, and I'll work on those two or three that day. I don't try to do it all at once. Let me just fix a couple of things today. Remember, we're not promised tomorrow, so let's just fix today, and we let tomorrow take care of itself. Let's see, then I go to the evaluation all throughout the day. All throughout the day, I usually evaluate my behavior. And there's times that I'll know, maybe I'll fall into sarcasm or impatience or intolerance, but I'm taking an inventory all day long. And when I'm wrong, I make that correction immediately. If I've offended somebody, I make an apology, wherever I should. Right away, I try to do it. I don't want to stack them up because they create blocks. They create guilt. They create shame. They take us right back into warrior mode. If we keep that thing clean all day long, just evaluate all day long, watch the days just start to get easier. Watch at the end of the day your scoreboard of happy, non-anxiety, an easy glow. Watch those just fall into place like crazy. Then I go to powerless all day and surrender. I could be in traffic. Lots of places throughout this country, there's all kinds of traffic, and it's easy to get in there every day. Oh, I hate this traffic. Oh, be mad at the guy in front of me. Powerless over that. When I try to control or manipulate, my life becomes unmanageable. I surrender it. And I'm going to give you an example on powerless and surrender all day. When I was first out in Hawaii learning these things, now we're going back years now, okay? And I still am practicing the same things every day and don't always get them right. But I do the best that I can do every day to be a little better than I was yesterday. Remembering that in the inner voice, community, we never expect progress, we never expect perfection, but progress each day. And there's going to be backslides. We're going to fall back into warrior. Sometimes life is going to catch us. I think you'll find if you keep feeding your mind and rereading and using the Inner Voice book and using these trainings, the audio versions of them, those relapses of behavior will get less and less and less, and you'll stay in them a shorter period of time. So I was in Hawaii, and I was with one of my spiritual coaches, and we were walking in Lahaina, so that would be, I think, on the island of Maui, and he had this new camera, and we went to go have lunch and talk inner voice stuff. That's what we went to do. We're working on self, okay? And he went to snap a picture, and the camera didn't take the picture. And he's like, I just bought it, and it's kind of fairly expensive. Tried to snap another picture, and it didn't snap. Now we started to get angry. Now think about that. We're getting angry at a camera now. I am totally powerless over a camera. So he says, well, maybe it's the battery. Let's go into the store and, see if I'll get a battery. So we go into the store. Now remember, we were going to have an inner voice spiritual talk on all the items the items we're talking about now. How do we not fall into those traps of warrior and human training? We come out, and the camera doesn't work again. Now, I was just learning the process of powerlessness and surrender, which I now try to do every day, all day. And it doesn't work again. And he finally throws his hands up because he was much more experienced than I was. And he says, I'm powerless over this camera. I think what God is telling me is that we're supposed to spend this time together without the distraction of this camera. So remember, you know, when powerlessness and surrender comes, instead of pointing the finger, we look back at the three pointing back at us and say, what is the universe trying to teach me right now? How can I grow? How can I get better? And we had a nice lunch at, if I remember, it was the Bubba Gump Shrimp Factory, I think it is. And we had a great lunch. And we talked about, you know, really things that I was saying, wow, you know, I really see how these could impact my life. And we got done with the lunch, and we came out and started to walk down, because it's a touristy area, and walk to the shops. And he says to me, you know what, let me try this camera. And God's honest truth, this is absolutely true. He takes the camera out, camera works perfectly. So there is just example. Now, we could say, aha, coincidence. No, you know, that universe couldn't have anything to do with that. Well, sure can, and it does. And in time, you're going to see it absolutely change your life. So recognize and take a little inventory daily. Recognize where your powerlessness and surrender that. Just let it go. Something good will fall into place. And then the end result is to reach out and share the message. Let me talk about that in a few minutes.